Welcome to The Hidden Scrolls, where we focus on history, folklore, and mythology. The mythological Valkyries, guardians of the fallen. Introduction. The Valkyries are among the most iconic figures in Norse mythology, known as the warrior maidens who serve Odin, the Allfather. These celestial beings are often depicted as powerful and ethereal women, clad in armor, riding winged horses, and wielding spears as they descend onto battlefields. Their primary role is to select the bravest warriors who have fallen in combat and escort them to Valhalla, Odin's great hall, where they will prepare for Ragnarok, the final battle. However, their role extends beyond mere battlefield reapers. They are also seen as protectors, lovers, and supernatural beings with deep connections to fate and destiny. Origins and meaning of the Valkyries. The term Valkyrie derives from the Old Norse words Valr, meaning the slain, and Kjósa, meaning to choose. Thus their name translates to choosers of the slain, a fitting title for their grim yet honorable duty. The Valkyries originate from the rich tapestry of Norse mythology, with references to them found in the Poetic Edda and the Prose Edda, two of the most important sources of Norse lore compiled in the medieval period. Valkyries were not just mythological figures, they were deeply embedded in the warrior culture of the Vikings. The concept of a glorious death in battle and the promise of an afterlife in Valhalla played a significant role in how Norse warriors approached combat. The idea that divine beings were watching over battles and selecting warriors for the afterlife gave courage and purpose to the Norse people. Roles and functions of the Valkyries. While the primary duty of the Valkyries was to select fallen warriors for Valhalla, their roles in mythology are more complex and multifaceted. Some of their key functions include battlefield reapers. Valkyries hover over battlefields, choosing who will die and who will live. In some accounts, they influence the outcome of battles by guiding the weapons of warriors or casting spells that determine victory or defeat. Guides to Valhalla. Those chosen by the Valkyries are escorted to Valhalla, where they join the ranks of the Einherjar, warriors who train and feast in preparation for Ragnarok. This transition was seen as an honor, as only the bravest and most distinguished warriors were selected. Bringers of fate. Valkyries were closely associated with fate and destiny, sometimes acting on behalf of the Norns, the weavers of fate. Some sagas suggest that Valkyries could determine not just the outcome of battles, but also the personal fates of individuals. Lovers and wives. In some legends, Valkyries take on a more personal role, becoming lovers or wives of mortal men. These stories often involve themes of love, sacrifice, and transformation, where the Valkyries' divine nature conflicts with human emotions and relationships. Famous Valkyries in Norse mythology. There are several named Valkyries in Norse mythology, each with their own distinct traits and stories. Some of the most well-known include Brynhildr. Perhaps the most famous of all Valkyries, Brynhildr appears in the Volsunga saga and is central to the legend of Sigurd the Dragon Slayer. Her story is one of love, betrayal, and tragedy, illustrating the complex nature of Valkyrie interactions with mortals. Skuld. A unique figure among the Valkyries, Skuld is also one of the Norns, responsible for weaving the future. This dual role emphasizes the deep connection between Valkyries and destiny. Sigrun. Featured in the Poetic Edda, Sigrun falls in love with the hero Helgi and aids him in battle. Their love story, however, ends in sorrow, reinforcing the theme that mortal relationships with Valkyries often lead to tragedy. Symbolism and cultural impact. The Valkyries symbolize many ideals in Norse culture, particularly those related to warfare, honor, and destiny. They represent the idealized warrior spirit, embodying courage, strength, and divine justice. The imagery of Valkyries has endured through history, influencing literature, art, and modern fantasy. In literature and art, the Valkyries have been depicted in countless poems, sagas, and artistic renderings throughout the centuries. From ancient carvings to modern paintings, their image as armored warrior maidens remains a staple of Norse mythology. In popular culture, Valkyries have made their way into modern entertainment, appearing in books, movies, video games, and television series. Popular representations include Wagner's opera Die Walküre, which features the famous Ride of the Valkyries musical piece, and their presence in fantasy worlds such as those found in Marvel Comics and video games like God of War. Feminine power and warrior ethos. In contemporary discussions, Valkyries are often viewed as symbols of strong, independent female figures. They embody both the nurturing and fearsome aspects of feminine strength, making them a source of inspiration for modern feminism and warrior archetypes. The Valkyries in Ragnarok. Like many elements of Norse mythology, the Valkyries are tied to the prophecy of Ragnarok, the apocalyptic end of the world. During this cataclysmic event, the warriors of Valhalla, led by Odin, will fight against the forces of chaos. The role of the Valkyries in this final battle is not entirely clear, but their selection of warriors for Valhalla is a crucial preparation for this destined conflict. Some sources suggest that the Valkyries may take part in the battle themselves, fighting alongside the gods and the Einherjar. Conclusion. The Valkyries remain one of the most fascinating elements of Norse mythology, embodying the themes of war, fate, and divine intervention. Their role as warrior maidens who select the bravest of the fallen reflects the Viking culture's emphasis on honor in the afterlife. Beyond their battlefield duties, Valkyries also serve as symbols of destiny and transformation, often intertwining with human lives in ways that bring both glory and sorrow. Today, the legacy of the Valkyries continues to thrive in modern culture, inspiring countless artistic interpretations and serving as a testament to the enduring power of Norse mythology. Whether as battlefield reapers, lovers of heroes, or symbols of feminine strength, the Valkyries hold a timeless place in the imagination of storytellers and scholars alike.